Pakistan bans domestic air travel for unvaccinated people.
Here's a summary of the article.
Pakistan has banned the domestic air travel for unvaccinated people as the COVID-19 cases crossed the 1 million mark in the country on Sunday, according to officials. The travel restriction, imposed by the National Command and Operations Centre, will be applicable from August 1 on unvaccinated people of over 18 years of age. Restriction is for domestic air travel, and people travelling from Pakistan to abroad or from abroad to Pakistan are exempted from restriction. It is also not applicable on link flights if these are within 72 hours of arrival or departure, according to an NCOC document. Partially vaccinated people, foreign nationals, Pakistani nationals having documentary proof of vaccination abroad and patients with clinical conditions will be exempted from the restriction, it said. The Ministry of National Health Services said that 45 people died in the last 24 hours due to the COVID-19, taking the death toll to 23,016. He said that the risk was not over, urging people to get vaccinated. In November last year, 59-year-old Justice Waqar Ahmad Seth, the then Chief Justice of the Peshawar High Court, died due to the contagion.
This post received a score of 8,200, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
From the article, restriction is for domestic air travel, and people traveling from Pakistan to abroad or from abroad to Pakistan are exempted from restriction.
A comma is missing here somewhere, and depending on where I put it, it could have 6 different meanings.
I mean, it makes sense to ban these people from a health standpoint, mostly for the health of the flight attendants, who are tired of getting punched in the face by these people.
Agree, it makes sense from a public health standpoint. You don't want those most likely to catch also traveling and spreading all along the way and back.
Why is Pakistani news being reported on an Indian news network? You never report on stuff from a neighboring country.
Yes, so they'll all start using trains and buses now, which are typically more crowded than planes to begin with.
If you live in Pakistan, you know how much of the country is rural and undeveloped, and a lot of those people don't really care about the virus. Sure, they'll follow SOPs if enforced, but otherwise they don't care. Most people also don't travel by air within the country. Throughout the pandemic they were taking crowded buses, and as for trains, they too were uncommon. More common than air travel, but still uncommon because the train system is also undeveloped, so I doubt there will be more cases because of this. I may be wrong because I am not from the rural area.
So now Pakistan is leading the USA.
I bet Biden for now would get domestic blowback if he did an EO requiring vaccination status on flights, but if the GOP changes its mind on vaccines. Edit. The airlines themselves could require vaccines too.
The airlines will likely both want and need to wait for full FDA clearance.
Technically, they are private organizations. This is actually fine.
Pakistan isn't a private company.
Whatever happened to India's COVID nightmare being in the news every day? I feel like around time a couple months ago it seemed all but certain that India was going to descend into full COVID anarchy. They good now or something?
India has fewer COVID cases than the US, even with a 4 times bigger population. So if the US has not descended into anarchy, then India is fine too.
All unvaccinated people must be segregated and refused service. This virus has gotten out of hand more than it ever should have. I have been out of work since last year because everything got closed down and had to go through my savings, something I wouldn't have ever thought I had to touch. I only wish to return to the life I was living before all this broke out.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.